Hello friends, welcome back. Today we'll explore one more micro niche. This is very narrowed and very specific to one particular product segment and very profitable with respect to affiliate marketing because the value of the product is significantly high if you keep adding some features. So let's get into the details. The product what we are going to talk about today is the musical instrument, that is a guitar, which is very popular, and most of you must have uh, heard about it and familiar with this. So straight away the difficulty looks very high, very hard, but volumes also looks exciting. So because of this reason, most of the people think that this is extremely competitive and very difficult to rank for this particular micro niche. Hence a lot of people of late wouldn't have considered this. So when we did a deep dive analysis, we did discover that there are quite a few uh, keywords with still low competition and good potential. So let's get into the details and then look at all the keywords associated with this particular micro niche. So you can straight away see we have nearly 2.3 million keywords associated with this particular micro niche. So let's do our five-factor validation that we normally apply for most of our micro niches. So first validation that we normally apply is the difficulty and competition. So there is one attribute that you can find here, something called KD. KD stands for keyword difficulty. Lesser is always better. For newbies, we always suggest go with keywords with difficulty less than 20. Let's apply that filter and check it out. How many keywords are there with difficulty less than 20? You still find about nearly 125k plus keywords are there with low difficulty. That itself is a very positive sign. That means there are so many low competitive keywords are available as per Ahrefs data. So that means the first validation is true. There are enough number of keywords with low competition or low difficulty. The second attribute that we normally look for is how is the search volume. So if you go back to the same analysis, there is one more label that you can find here, something called volume. Volume stands for, here is the second column, you can see volume. Volume stands for number of times this any of these keywords are searched on an average per month. For example, if you see guitar fetish is searched for about 34k times on an average per month with a difficulty 2. And then if you take guitar store near me or guitar a classical guitar, you have the volumes are about 23k. That means it's been searched for about 23k times per month. So what I normally do, I look for first page. If the volumes of all the rows on the first page is more than about 1000 search visits per month, I consider it as a good search volume. Here almost most of the keywords on the first page has about 9k plus, though we applied the difficulty filter of 20. So that looks very good, excellent. So the second validation is also true. Good search volumes for all low competitive keywords. Now let's look at the third uh, the validation. So we want to also check if there are enough number of keywords with low difficulty and good search volume to write more number of articles, because once you start the micro niche, you need to at least publish more than 100 articles practically to see some positive results. More is always good. There are blogs which typically publish about 200, 300, 400 articles also to increase the revenues. So we already applied the filter of difficulty here. Let's apply one more filter. Let's filter the keywords that are having the monthly search volumes minimum 500. Let's apply that filter and see how many keywords will appear. So there are about nearly 10k plus keywords. That's a huge number. So even if you discard about a 50% of it, still you have about a 5000 keywords. Still, if you are doubtful that there may be some brands or some maybe some other services related things, because guitar is not about only the product, but it is all about learning as well. So there may be a lot of keywords associated with learning of guitar that may not be directly applicable for you when you start writing the content. Or you can very well, if you have the that expertise and knowledge in that area, you can write. But for example, if you take here guitar, this particular keyword, guitar center hours, so this is basically there's nothing you can write about that using this particular topic. So even if you take about another maybe 20-30% of those things, worst case, even if you pick up about it nearly 30% of these keywords, also you have about a 300k plus keywords. So more than enough number of topics are there to write the content with this particular micro niche, though you are picking up only low competition keywords. So that means the third validation is also true. There is enough scope to write the content. The fourth one, which is most critical factor, do we have a low DR site or relatively new site that is performing well related to this particular micro niche? That's the validation what we look for, what we do with this point 4. So after so much of analysis, this is the site that I discovered, guitarspace.org. So let's do some let's analyze the data related to this particular site and see how it looks like. So let me go to Site Explorer and key in the domain. Then let's look for the data points. So one of the key attribute that I always look for when I analyze the domain is something called DR. DR stands for domain rating. So lesser means it is relatively new or relatively non-branded. So simply the site is basically ranking because of the content, but not because of the the establishment or branding related stuff. So for example, if you start a brand new site, your DR will be 0, and if you check the DR of Facebook's, Microsoft kind of a sites, you will find DR about above 90 or near 100. So that means more branded, more popular your site becomes, and more references you get site from the other people, other website, then you will become you will gain more DR. So when you start a new site, obviously your DR will be low. So we want to always look for some other site which is having low DR but still performing well, which proves that if you can publish high quality content, your site can also perform well. Now DR9 is low, so nothing much to worry about that. And look at the other two critical attributes. One is organic keywords. Organic keywords is nothing but number of different search terms for which this particular website is appearing in search engines like Google, Bing organically. 36k different search terms for which this site is appearing. That is huge number. And then organic traffic, this is the other attribute. Organic traffic is nothing but number of visitors, number of people visiting, or number of times basically this particular website has been visited through different search terms organically through search engines. Nearly there is about 17k plus visits per month to this particular website, which is again significant number. So that means though there is a low DR for this particular site which is exclusively built on guitar, just because of the content it is able to perform exceptionally well. So many thousands of keywords for which the site is performing out in search engines, and so thousands of people visiting this particular site every month. So that means the fourth validation is also true. There is a low DR site exclusively built on this particular micro niche performing exceptionally well. Now the last one is earning potential. We all build this niche site to make some money. So we want to verify if this particular niche has enough potential to earn decent money. So the best way of looking at is, so we already found the website with low DR performing well. Let's look at how much the earning potential of that particular site. That will give an indication for you how much you can earn if you create a new site. If you go back and look at the data points related to the site that we just analyzed, there is one label called traffic value. Traffic value is nothing but the money this particular website can earn if you properly monetize it. So when you say properly monetize, there are so many ways to monetize. So there is always ifs and buts there. So if you properly monetize this particular website, it has a potential of about a 10k US dollars per month. It can earn about 10k US dollars per month is what data is saying. Now, as I said, there are a lot of ifs and buts are there when you say properly monetize. Take a very conservative approach. Just consider 10% of it. Even if you consider 10% of it, this has a potential to earn about $1,000 per month, which is a very good money for a site with such a low DR and exclusively focusing on to one product segment. So with that combination actually makes this particular micro niche very exciting, and especially if you are a music lovers or if you have any kind of interest toward the music instrument, I think this is one of the micro niche that you should pay attention. So our fifth validation is also true. So all five validations are perfectly true for this particular micro niche. We verified enough thousands of keywords with low competition, excellent search volumes. We found again nearly 10k plus keywords with the filters that we applied. So much of lot of scope to write content, and we already found a reference website with just DR9 but performing very well. And finally, we also found there is excellent earning potential for this particular micro niche. Perfect, true for with all the five validation that we applied. Just let's have a glance at the site content. For example, let's pick up maybe one of the article, maybe electrical guitars. Let's see how is the content is. So always my strong belief is if there is a low DR site performing well, content will be superior. There is no second thought about it. Let's look at the content. So let me actually first check what is the word count on this page. Select all. Let me check the word count. See, 7,446 words is the word count for this particular blog. So just imagine how much of analysis would have gone and how much of details they would have provided in this blog if they have to compile an article of 7,400 words. That's what makes this particular uh, article as well as the blog to outperform even the high DR site. So you will have to, there is no other second option. Once you identify the low competitive keywords, do the competitor analysis and then come up with the superior content, publish, give some time, it will perform most likely. So if you look at see the design wise, it's very simple. I already told you in my the other video where I explained about the free themes that are available for simple plain design, which are very much suitable for a niche site. You can see this site design. There is nothing much. It's all about just arranging the content in headings, subheadings, and in between you bring in some images and some bullet point. I hope there will be some table or something is there. So I think there are most of them are listings are there, good images are there, and well formatted content. Most importantly, they have gone to very deep in explaining lot of details related to these products. That's what really made this site to outperform. So you can easily make out what exactly you need to do if you are picking up this particular site. So if you have any interest towards music and looking for our music instruments and looking for some good micro niche to start your online income, I think this is a perfect one. Go ahead and kickstart your online blogging journey. So that's all for today. Hope you like the content. Thank you very much for your time once again. Bye.